Many modern horror films failed to make an impact on viewers as they were too predictable or relied way too much on over-the-top CGI. After all, what makes a horror movie great is its ability to shock and frighten the audience and make them feel unsettled even after they finish watching. With that said, there have been modern horror films that broke the status quo and impressed even the most critical horror fans. Their ability to provoke viewers and tell a convincing story made them instant classics that revolutionized the genre thanks to their fresh narratives and original ideas. What's scarier than a family turning against each other? Set in 17th century New England, this period piece follows two parents who are trying to live a devoted life of Christianity while raising their 5 children. This quickly takes a turn for the worse when their newborn son disappears and their crops start collapsing. The family's oldest daughter, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, is blamed for these events due to her presence at the time of the baby's disappearance, with the family starting to suspect devilry at play and labeling her as a witch. The Witch does a stellar job with its captivating storytelling and unsettling imagery, with the film showcasing a family that is tearing itself apart due to its own fears and beliefs. It's a fresh interpretation of horror-inspired period pieces that use devilish evil as their inspiration, with the A24 movie being an excellent film for anyone that likes tense horror movies that slowly build up tension.
Thomason, let her alone. Get away from the killer, or she'll witch thee.
You never know your family's dark secrets. A psychological horror film that keeps you guessing until the end? Yes, please. The film follows Annie and her family, who are haunted by grief after the passing of Annie's mentally ill mother. Her family tries to cope with the sadness in many ways, including dabbling in the paranormal. If you're a dedicated fan of horrors, you know this is a terrible idea. Predictably, the family then starts experiencing disturbing paranormal events, and they learn a horrible secret about their family's past. Hereditary is everything you want from a psychological horror. It perfectly balances the psychological thriller aspect with unsettling paranormal events that are connected to the painful past of Annie's family. It's also a film famous for having one of the most unexpected plot twists in a horror film, which has made it a must-watch for any fan of the genre.
Now, Charlie, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to show them what you did earlier.
Sometimes it's best to trust the warning signs. Mixing cultural and social commentary isn't something you commonly see in horror films, so it's no surprise that Jordan Peele's Get Out caused serious waves in the film industry when it first released. The film follows Chris, a man of color who travels upstate to meet his girlfriend's family, who are white. He initially thinks their odd, overly friendly behavior is their anxious attempt at dealing with their daughter's interracial relationship. But as the weekend goes on, he finds out the strange atmosphere is nothing he could have expected. Jordan Peele's directorial debut managed to excellently blend psychological horror with serious racial issues. The film does an excellent job of being a social criticism that offers a thought-provoking story and an incredible plot twist that keeps audience members glued to their screens.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
Get out! Yo! Yo!
Some movies are way too influential not to mention. While the haunted house trope has been beyond overdone at this point, there's no denying that The Conjuring brought new life into this overpacked genre and completely redefined it. The film managed to create an absolutely terrifying story about a family that gets haunted as soon as they move to their new house in New England. They then turn to paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, in order to resolve the paranormal disturbances they become victims of. The first Conjuring movie kickstarted one of the most successful horror franchises of the modern era and introduced the quote-unquote true stories of the Warrens, two of the most popular demonologists in history. The movie brings a fresh narrative to one of the most cliched genres, with storylines that make the hairs on the back of the necks of even the most avid horror fans stand up.
There's this awful smell like rotting meat that moves around the house.
It's better not to go to foreign festivals you know nothing about. Few things can compare to the horror of being abroad and realizing you're in a nightmarish situation. Midsommar follows a group that travels to a small town in Sweden for what they thought was a fun cultural summer festival after Danny, played by Florence Pugh, suffers a family tragedy. Thing is, instead of a peaceful retreat in a friendly village, they find a twisted, pagan-inspired cult that partakes in ritualistic torture. Midsommar was considered a classic the second it released. It offers an intricate storyline that becomes more unsettling with every passing scene, making for a disturbing yet enticing watch that stays with the viewer long after they finish the film. It also breaks the stereotype of horror movies being shot in the dark, with almost the entire film being set in daytime in a gorgeous landscape, thus creating a contrast with the story.
What's that building over there?
It's like a sacred temple.
With all that said, thank you for watching, guys. What's your favorite modern horror movie? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and maybe even subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more videos about your favorite horror films. Thank you again, and we'll see you again. Same channel, different time.